what's up everyone? We're here to talk about my stack, specifically the main ingredient, which is the pre-workout. Now there's a lot of other stuff going on, but that main focus of your stack is what's gonna get you motivated, it's what's gonna get you in the gym, and for me, that's pre-workout. Now in my case, I got MTS, which is Mark Lobeliner's baby, and it's an absolute amazing company. Clash by them, their pre-workout, and it comes in a nice container. They have a bunch of different flavors to choose from, 6 to be exact. I went with orange. I would probably rate this a 9 out of 10. It's probably as good as it's going to get without being absolutely perfect. It blends well, it mixes well. Overall, it's an amazing product. Let's talk about what's in it and why I like it. So MTS Clash has 7 ingredients. Now you're going to hear these names a lot. A lot of pre-workouts go with the same predominant 5 to 7, sometimes 10, again that's a lot, but predominantly the same ingredients. That's because they're tested, they're proven, and people know them by name, thus they're reliable. The first up for MTS Clash is creatine monohydrate. Now we've talked about creatine before. Basically what it is, it's a cellular hydration and endurance supplement. What you're gonna find is you're gonna have creation of lean body mass, you're gonna have that recovery. Basically, when you take creatine, it boosts your body's already normal level because you produce it naturally, and just helps with that overall athletic endurance. And that's really something you want with a stack. That's a huge component. It's not an incredibly large dose, which allows us to take creatine in our other part of our stack, but it's nice that when you drink that pre-workout, you have a secondary little dose of it that's not overpowering in your stack, which is one of the main ingredients of Clash. Secondly on the list is BetaAlanine. So basically, with BetaAlanine, you're looking for carnosine. Now that's a part of your body's blood system, your pH level, your hydrogen. But what that's gonna do is keep that elevated, because when you're fatigued, you've been running for that 2 hours, you've been lifting for those 2 hours, your body's pH level is gonna drop, and it's gonna create that fatigue. You're gonna get tired, your metabolism's gonna slow down, and you're gonna just get overall fatigued. What that's gonna do is boost that body's pH level and carnosine to help with that fatigue and keep you going. It's going to give you that mental focus. It's going to give you that overall endurance to get back in the game. That's going to be a recurring theme with pretty much any of these ingredients. It helps with focus, it helps with blood pump, it helps with overall just fatigue and water storage. Now you'll also see on here that it has caffeine, and that's something that just helps with that cardiovascular system. It gets your heart rate pumping, it gets that blood pumping, it helps with a pump, which if you don't know by now is when your muscle feels really tight against your skin, all of that really good muscle fiber is becoming engorged with this nice nutrient-rich blood, and that's helping to stretch that fascia and build that lean body mass with just volume. So what you're gonna see with the caffeine is that increased cardiovascular rate. It's gonna start pumping that blood. But one thing that they really didn't want to do when they promoted this product is they wanted to make it stronger without adding even more stimulants. Because if you tack on an extra 25 milligrams, another 100 milligrams of caffeine, you're just gonna make them hyper and it's gonna crash at the tail end. That's the one downside. But the awesome thing about MTS is they're like, hey, we don't want to do that. We want to get that energy through a different source. So they kept the caffeine level relatively the same, and they put the other 2 ingredients that they added from the first set of batches of Clash they brought. Now we have a hybridized, better version. Let's talk about the other ingredients besides caffeine. So next on the ingredient list is a bunch of HCLs. Now I'm going to put the names of them right here. They are really complicated to say, and I'm not a chemist. I'm not gonna try to butcher the pronunciation of any of these. What these do in tandem, these 3, provides appetite suppression, weight loss, energy, mental focus, but with all these side effects that aren't there with traditional fat burners, if you will. Because if you've ever tried them, you know that you lose weight very rapidly. It increases your metabolism, but you lose a lot of weight. And when you try to stack that with bodybuilding, what's gonna happen is you're gonna start to cannibalize that muscle. You're turning and burning, you're acquiring fuel, you're not eating fast enough, your body's gonna require some sort of food storage, and it's gonna start to cannibalize those muscles. So that's why I see people, they get really shredded, but they drop size really fast. It's because all those fat burners and those energy supplements, they take away from overall muscle growth. That's what these 3 supplements in tandem work against. They give you that energy, all those positives, without any of those negatives, and that's one thing I found super interesting. So the next one on the list is Tyrosine or Tyrosine, however you choose to pronounce it. It's an energy booster, it's a mood elevator, and it's an overall endurance factor. Again, there's gonna be a lot of repetition with a lot of these. It's different sources to work on that cross dosing and spread out those different types of endurance and fatigue boosters. Basically, what you're trying to do is give a lot of that energy without creating an overwhelming stimulus on one source, which helps you to not only avoid a lot of those complications. Like if you take a lot of caffeine in 2 weeks, your body's gonna be so used to that dose, you're gonna take more and more and more. But if you're spread loading those ingredients, your body doesn't have a chance to get used to them nearly as fast. They will, but not nearly as fast, which means your pre-workout is gonna work for you 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Usually I find that I'll build a tolerance to pretty much any pre-workout after about 2 months. And that's just because your body gets really used to it. It doesn't have those active ingredients just constantly pumping through your body, and you get really tired of it. 2 months is my absolute max for supplements, and I start to get either new ones from the same company, obviously MTS, or I try a different ingredient from a whole different company. So the next one is agmatine sulfate. Probably butchered the first part. I'll put it right here as well. Basically, what this can be for you is not only a pain reducer, an insulin booster, but an overall recovery aid. Now they put this in here because during those times of just really hypertrophic workouts or those long grueling ones like we do on this channel, your body is gonna start to feel sore, it's gonna be painful, you don't wanna work out anymore. What this is gonna do is not only help with the pain suppression just by keeping you constantly elevated, reducing those inflammation and those soreness in those muscles, but also in a really odd turn of events, it's gonna increase your overall insulin minutely, because it's not an insulin, it doesn't add any insulin, it's helping to optimize and produce naturally occurring one. And what that's gonna do is really work on those muscle building. With insulin, your body is gonna need it to produce a more dense, almost like a solid physique and overall muscle growth. Insulin is just one of those things where your body produces it naturally. This is when people say genetics, 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 and that definitely is, because if you produce a really, really low amount of insulin, you're either, hopefully not complicated with like a type of diabetes, but your body is not going to be able to overall convert into really solid, dense muscle. This should help with a little bit of a boost, again, a supplementary boost. So those are the ingredients you can find in MTS Clash. Again, they have 6 flavors. I went with orange. Now, bearing in mind, I always suggest if you're gonna pick something, say a pre-workout, you wanna wrap the rest of your stack around it. Either get completely unflavored other supplements, or obviously ones that are complementary. So I have 3 products that are orange and 2 that are non-flavored, which is good because it actually promotes a really good tasting product, like I said on the other video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, a nice, relatively simple review. If you don't know what's in your products, don't take it. Or make sure to do your research online, because you don't want to be stacking 3 different types of creatine when they've labeled it as something else or a proprietary blend, and then you're taking creatine here. Like I said, double, triple dosing pre-workouts or creatine or BCAAs is either just wasting your money or wasting your time because your body can't absorb it. Make sure to do the research. Make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe. Thanks for taking a look at this video. Hopefully it helped out. Most importantly, take it easy.